Well, hello there and happy Vlogmas and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the best products that I tried out in 2022. And I'm doing this video get ready with me style, so you're going to see most of my favorites applied in this video today. Now, before we jump in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Alright, since we're doing a full face, I'm going to be using most of the products that are in my 2022 beauty favorites, but of course not all of them. So when we get to that point in the routine, I will just mention it as opposed to put it on. The best primer that I tried in 2022 was this e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I used the shade 5 and I love this stuff. Now, when it came out, it honestly went viral because everybody expected it to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And while it is pretty close, I would say this actually has a little bit more coverage, and I love this product. I don't know if I want to say I love it more, but it is nice to use it more often because I know it's not so expensive. Even if I run out of it, repurchasing it isn't a huge deal. Sometimes I apply it all over and sometimes I just apply it on the high points of the face. It really does make your skin look like you've got a filter on it. I would be happy to leave the house in just this. Ooh, I got some on my brow. My favorite complexion product that I tried in 2022 was the Fenty Beauty Ease Drops, and there is no mistaking this. I use this so much. I'm actually almost out of it. I'm sure I only have about 1 or 2 uses left. Now, pretty much every time I use this product, I use it with a glowy primer or a super moisturized base. And that's because this product is on the matte side. Now, it's definitely not super matte, and I think also that matte quality lends itself to being such a super long wearing skin tint. So I've got that on the back of my hand, and I actually will also sometimes mix the Halo Glow liquid filter directly into the Ease Drops. Has a very beautiful effect as well. I love this product because there's just enough coverage that you can use this for a more glam look, but you can also use it for a very natural, everyday look. It's a very versatile complexion product. And I like to use a brush to blend it out. And then if there are any brush marks, I'll go in with a sponge at that point, but I don't like to apply it or begin the blending process with a sponge. I think it absorbs too much of the product. And you can definitely use less than I did, and it still looked really nice. Now, I'm not going to be using it today, but another one of my favorites that I tried this year was the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I use the shade Medium 33W. I really like this concealer product for more of my light makeup days or my barely any makeup days. It brightens the under eye with a hint of coverage, just enough to make you look a little bit more awake. It wears really nicely on its own. It's nice and light under the eye. It doesn't look heavy or apparent. But if you want to set it down with powder, it works with that as well. Now, I didn't try a concealer or an under eye setting powder that I enjoyed this year, so I'm going to do those and jump to the next product. While I'm waiting for my concealer to set down a little bit, I want to talk about this Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. I really enjoyed this as a all-over setting powder, especially in these summer months when I really needed my makeup to last for a really long time, but I didn't want it to look too cakey on my skin. Now, I've never used this product as an actual foundation, but it worked really, really well as a setting powder for me and as someone with dry skin. The shade 12 Brown Sugar worked as pretty much an all-over powder color for me. This is another one of those products that just has a good amount of coverage. It's not too much to where it feels super apparent on the skin, but it's also not so little that it's not doing anything for you. And it also smooths out the skin really beautifully. This powder photographs really, really well. My favorite powder bronzer that I tried this year was by L'Oreal, and it is this Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear bronzer. I use the shade Deep Tan 450. Now, first off, I was just so excited to see a powder bronzer launch at the drugstore with an amazing range. Now, they don't have a lot of shades, but they have a lot of rich shades, which is just so key. Just for the longest time, we black girls and brown girls have been left out of the equation when it comes to bronzers. A lot of brands you still will see have 1 or 2 shades of bronzer, and their deepest shade of bronzer wouldn't work on me, and I am like medium skin tone, tan skin toned, so just there's no excuse for it. That'll definitely set the bar there. I'm hoping other drugstore brands come through with a powder bronzer. I would especially love to see that from e.l.f. e.l.f. actually used to have a powder bronzer that I still have in my collection, but it's been discontinued. I hope that they re-release these powder bronzers or, you know, remake them and have just better ranges. I'm going to be applying this all over the face, and I'm also going to be applying this on the eyes because I didn't actually try any new powder eyeshadows that I liked this year. I like this powder bronzer because it's just that perfect amount of pigmented where it's not so pigmented that it's scary to use and difficult to use, but it's pigmented enough that you can see it. Also, the tone of this shade specifically works so well with my skin. It really does look like I am skin-kissed or sun-kissed. I just like to take the bronzer all over the eyelid. It's such a beautiful, natural-looking tone. It works so beautiful on my eyelids. And honestly, that's the reason why I have such a pan in it already, even though I just got it this year. It's because for the longest time, I was using it like every day on my eyelids and on my face. All right, and moving on to blush. This was a total TikTok find. I was going through TikTok and I came across this really gorgeous girl who recommended MAC powder blush in the shade Peaches for brown girls. And so here is what we're looking like. And that is the color in the packaging. And you know what? When she held it up, I thought, you know, it's just a pink blush, you know. But honestly, it is the most perfect peachy pink blush for my skin tone. And it is definitely an everyday favorite now. And I'm applying this with my Thrive Cosmetics blush brush. The brush I use to apply my bronzer is the Thrive Cosmetics bronzer brush. This powder formula blends so beautifully into your skin and into the other products. You don't see necessarily where it ends and the other product begins. Now, I'm not putting it on today, but another one of my 2022 blush favorites is this cream blush, the NYX Wonder Stick, and it is a dual-sided blush. I have coral and deep peach. I love using the blushes by themselves as well as mixed together to make your own custom shade. This has been one of the easiest to use, long-lasting cream blushes, and the packaging makes it even easier to use. So while I didn't find any powder eyeshadows that I fell in love with this year, I did fall in love with a single eyeshadow, and it is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz. It does have actual glitter, so if you don't like that, you will not like this, but everything about this, the texture, the glitter, the fact that it's almost transparent instead of having like an actual shade to it. I'll actually swatch it for you guys. So you can see it just made my arm look wet and shiny, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm going to be throwing that on the lid. And I'm going to blend out the edges with the same brush I used to apply the bronzer. But this was also an everyday eyeshadow for a while there. It's so easy to use, and you can throw it on the lid even if you don't have your bronzer or anything else on. It looks really good on the lid by itself. Alright, now I'm just throwing on some dark brown eyeliner. This is the Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner. A long-time favorites. Next up, I tried one mascara this year that absolutely blew me away, and that is the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. This mascara does give me a little bit of volume, but it's really good at lengthening and extending my lashes. I fell in love with a new lip liner, and I want to say that this one actually did come out in 2022. This is the NYX Line Loud Lip Liner, and this is the shade Rebel Kind that I'm going to be applying today. But the shade that it was actually my favorite is Total Baller, and I just can't find it anywhere. This shade is a little bit deeper than that one, but I still love this one as well. We are ending the video with a lipstick that I fell in love with in 2022, and that is the MAC Cosmetics Matte Lipstick in the shade Velvet Teddy. This is such a beautiful pink nude shade for my skin tone. It works well with even lighter lip liners as well as deeper ones. It's just the nice, perfect nude for my skin tone. I also love how creamy the formula is despite being a matte lipstick. I actually forgot one product, and that is this Revolution Superfix Super Hold Setting Spray. I love this. This became my new favorite setting spray of this year, and it's because it is, I think, $12 or $14. I'll put it in the description box below. But this lasted me so long, and even though it states that it has an ultra matte finish, it really doesn't. It actually has a more dewy finish to it, but it still made your makeup last so long. It has aloe and vitamin E in it, which is great for the skin. So in addition to your makeup lasting longer, you're getting some nice skin-loving ingredients. Well, that wraps up my 2022 beauty favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the get ready with me style of it. Leave down in the comments which products did you try in 2022 and fall in love with. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos, and I hope you are having a great day or night. Bye.